Alright. Bad wall. Don't reinforce this wall because you're supposed to get 4 garage walls, which you guys didn't do. These 2 walls, and then these 2 walls, and then the red wall and the rafters wall, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you get this one, then you can't afford to put either a red wall or a rafters wall. And if you don't put a rafters wall, then they can wallbang breach and kill the rafters player, which you're supposed to have. There's no ADS, so they can take it quickly anyway. Ideally, your setup should be one of those barbed wires should be on the rafters stairs. You should have 1 or 2 ADS on rafters. I would put an ADS 90 and an ADS like R1 or R2, depending on where you want to play. I would normally play like R1 because I'm pretty sure playing R2 is difficult if they have an angle through this window. Oh, instead of a bandit, I would bring a mute. You mute the 2 garage walls, mute the main wall, and mute the con wall, and then you can make rotates. And this rotate's good. This rotate up here, you should not be able to vault that rotate from inside of server. You should only be able to do it from inside cache, and only if you're on top of the table. You always want to red rotate. A con hatch is good to open. I know that was a lot, and it's not even done with the prep phase. I hope that was not too distracting. It's a good cam. It's good that you're on cams. You should have probably gotten a Valcam in garage if you're not gonna play it, which you always should play it. Pretty much. So you still have C4. You should have that con hatch open. See your smoke's right next to it. You could have opened it. That gives the guy in lounge some extra pressure, and also gives you a route to go below in C4 default. You shouldn't be peeking this rafters guy in my opinion because of your C4. Should stay alive so you can deny plant. It's a 3v3 anyway. You don't want to lose a man and be in a 3v2. I don't like this setup so far. What you guys should have done, people have been reinforcing this wall here instead of putting a rotate here because if they get kitchen hatch open, they can't look through the rotate and into church door. And if you put a shield here, then they can't shoot you off the shield. And they have to go and play vert above, which is a pretty easy solution, but it's an extra step. And extra steps are always a good idea to give the attackers. You can get ash roll, get this middle con wall right here. Got all these church walls, you got dirt and hatches, that's good. Your reinforcements are done. To rotate here, 2 ADS, maybe just 1, because you have Goyo. You should put 2 here, 1 here. This barb should be right here, so you have more of a warning. They can't just walk down the stairs and then through your barb and then be able to peek into box 3. Also, you can barricade oil pit. Barricades are super underrated, in my opinion. I would 100% barricade this if you don't put barb there. And I'd probably put the last barb main. For you, okay. So if I were you, I would put it under this light and one of the fryers. So in that fryer, in the little basket, because it's hard to see when the light's over it, and you can see pretty much everything in the kitchen. That cam almost never gets shot. Let's save an IQ. I think that's a good cam. I don't play Valk a lot. That's a good cam actually. You should not get on cams here if you know this guy dirt. Like Jaeger is doing, you should have him get on cams. That way you can pressure this guy. Because look, as soon as you got on cams, watch, he's holding here, right? As soon as he hears you get on cams, he's pushing up, right? He knows he's not pressured. I don't think you should have flanked. Your teammates got 2 kills, that's really good. I think in that situation, let me list all the things you should fix. Don't castle this, castle this, castle this, con window, master window, and then castle the cache door. Reinforce these 2 walls, don't put a mirror there. Mute it. You can put a jammer like right here. It'll mute all of this wall and most of this wall. And they can't shoot the jammer from the drone hole. Put a jammer here, put a jammer here. Open the con hatch so you can rotate if you need to. You can swap out Mira for Jaeger. Or, I guess smoke for Jaeger. Put an ADS here, or here, I think. And they can't shoot it from the window or the door, and it'll catch any nades that are going towards the shield or towards the rotate over here where your mirror window should be. The Jaeger that you should have should put barb on main. You should put it like mid or lower of the lower main. Should put an ADS in bathroom and then an ADS in this rotate so it protects both windows. I probably wouldn't barricade this door. And for this wall, if you're gonna mute it, put the jammer like right here. That way if they nade, they don't get the jammer as easily. But that's the setup that you want. I'm sure you went to this window and you looked through the window and you looked at this window and you're like, oh, that's like super uncomfortable, I don't want to be here. And then you left. Maybe. That's how I would feel if I went and did that. So reinforce this and put a mute jammer on it, and don't put a mirror window here. Window's here too, so it's not like you're not dumb for doing it. A better place to play would probably be in between this rotate, because you can pressure gym window and master window if they open it. The only problem is if you have an attacker at either window, and then you're kind of stuck here. And if you had the ADS here and you played here, then you can hop out if the guys rotate off the window and they're going to hop in like CC window or con window, right? And that's better for you to do than like Bandit, because Bandit has C4, but you've already done your setup, and all of your utility goes into the setup, and you have an you don't have you have the worst gun on the team, so it's like it's not a huge loss if you risk hopping out to get a pick on a Zoph or a Thermite, and that's worth the risk in my opinion most of the time. Okay, you're Nomad. You have 2 hard breaches that can drone in the rest of your team, so you should be getting your drone prepped for flank. Like, early in the round you'll be able to get it here, but sometimes they can shoot it. Like, if they vault the window and they see you jumping up, they'll shoot it. So if I were you, I would drive your drone all the way around here, all the way outside the building, through this drone hole, through the lounge drone hole, and then either somewhere in the freezer for a lounge cam. That way, if someone rotates below late round to C4, you can call it out, and the person that's planning can go plant somewhere else. Or you can get it, jump up on the couch, up onto the painting, and then up onto the sign. You can jump it on top of the freezer, which a lot of people don't check, especially if you keep it tucked in the corner until the round starts. You can also get a secret drone around here, but that doesn't give you as much info. But if they do like to play secret, then a secret drone's valuable. So you should maybe get a secret drone and a lounge drone. So your Zoph's already in. You could have, if you got your drone prepped and you stayed on it until Zoph got to the stock door, then you can tell your teammate, hey, lounge is clear, and I was on that drone through prep phase, and no one went into stock, so I know your stock is clear too. And they can take it all the way up, and they can just hold an angle. Maybe someone is setting up late, so they come down red, or they go through swamp, and your teammate has a cutoff, and she kills a Jaeger, hopefully. Doesn't look like she does. But either way, you have this pressure now, and you pretty much just took lounge. But it could have been done a lot more efficiently if you had the drone here in the first place, and you stayed on it. Because you're on Nomad, and you should be on drones for a lot of the round. And definitely for your Ash and your Zoph. You bring breaches! Don't bring breaches on Nomad, bring flashes. Flashes are super important, especially on this op. Okay. If you peek the door from this window, see the shadows? They'll see the shadows and they'll know to, if they have shadows on, and they'll know when you're peeking. Good that you're droning all that stuff, but depends a little bit on the situation, but it might be better if you just, so instead of droning into church and getting info in church, that will pretty soon be irrelevant information, because they'll move around, they'll rotate to moto, or they'll rotate back into blue, or whatever. You can drone out what's important right now, and then get a drone prepped for what will be important in 10, 15, 20 seconds. And then a dead teammate can hop on that drone, watch it for you, give you callouts while you're planning. Someone's covering. So drone armory, once it's clear, drone this hall. If it's clear, if the church door is clear, if you drone past and it looks like you can see what their immediate setup looks like, make sure if there's a guy playing here, your drone doesn't get shot. You can like jump it across. Say you drone past and then always looking, okay, jump across, get your drone prepped right here. They didn't have a rotate. So Mav goes and holds. You can hold in the church door. You can push in. Mav comes with you. You guys flash this guy out. Nade him out maybe. Or 2v1 him. You have to 2v1 him. This is good. You guys are taking the 2v1 on him. Good flashes would be even better. Flash here, and then flash here. Because you blind this guy for a lot longer than this guy will be blinded for. Or just take it off the angle, because you might just peek away and not get flashed. And it'll give you guys time to kill this guy. But flash this guy first. And then one flash over here, and then double push, get the diffuser, get plan off, and you have a drone here hopefully to worry about this guy, so you can pretty much focus on this guy until your teammate on this drone says there's a guy in your hallway, or there's a guy at your church door. Also, if you flash this guy might feel like he needs to do something, because he probably does, which is why that extra flash is important. But you could also just flash the shit out of this guy, and then take a 2v1 on this guy, and then turn around and 2v1 this guy, or double flash. Mav pushes in, gets the kill, you push in, and you flash deeper. And then you can both go back into sight and plant. There's a lot of ways to go around it. You should bring flashes on Thermite. Smokes are really good. Smokes are undervalued, in my opinion, in Siege at least. But I do think that you should have flashes, because you have 2 nades, 2 impacts, 3 ash charges, and only 3 flashes, and only 2 concussions. So that's 5 clear, but the concussions could also not really count because they can pop on people and instead of burning ADS. So you should bring flashes, that way you can guarantee ADS being cleared and magnets being cleared, because they have Jaeger Romai this time. So you should definitely have flashes. I didn't see that. Not that you knew that they would have Jaeger Romai, but you know, bring flashes anyway. In comp you would see, okay, Jaeger Romai, I'm gonna switch to flashes, but in ranked it's different. Also, your Thermite, you're going to be droning people in, hopefully. So, this is when you should drive your drone right back to spawn. They didn't reinforce Rafters wall. So, you have a free wallbang onto this guy if you knew he was there, right? And then you shot the ADS. Like I said, on round 1, Reinforce this wall. Don't put ADS here. No, you guys didn't, but they did put ADS there. Anyone can see for that hatch. Bandit, Val, Mira, if she was alive, don't stand on that hatch. They can also just shotgun it open, and then you fall down and they have a free kill. So, never stand on that hatch. Go into Master and make sure Master's clear. Or your teammates in Logi, you can go sit in Logi and drone. But then you have to cross the mirror window, so it's probably best if you just stay Master. Or you can prone behind the drywall and in between the window and drone. But then you leave your back to Master, so I don't know. Droning here is okay, just don't drone on the hatch. Because now you have the info that there's a guy in cache, a guy in server, and a guy top red. And top red's on drone. If you knew top red was on drone, which I don't think you do because she was lower on the steps, then you could just flash green box, take the one on green box, or the 2v1 on green box, and then by the time this guy's off cams, you can throw another flash and maybe take a one on server, or throw a flash and take a one on her, and then your teammate can watch server. Or you can just go for plant. You can plant like right here or something. And there's so many ways to go around it.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Not a bad chem. I wouldn't put this here because if they maybe nade and it breaks the table, then you lose the cam too. I would put that cam in garage. Don't cut this wall. The con cam is fine, but put the one that you put under the table, put that one in garage. I like this position because there's a guy breach and there's a guy rafters, and you have a good amount of pressure on rafters to help your team, and there's a lot of flexibility. Oh, they're planning. This is bad. You shouldn't have rotated. If you had con hatch open, you could have just dropped. So Mira should have opened con hatch as a last resort. Legion should have opened it, but he should never have to use his impacts if you have a shotgun on the team. You were very, very lucky that he didn't stick that plant. If he had stuck that plant, you would have gotten it off while you were rotating. No, don't steal my sense. Don't do that. Find what works best for you. You can try it. If you try it and you like it and want to stick to it, then go ahead. But your sensitivity doesn't make you better or worse unless it's like super low or super high, like maxed out in either direction. You should be yelling at your teammates. They have Cav and they have Capcan. Maybe you don't know about Cav, but you know about Capcan. You should be yelling. They have Capcan. They have Capcan. They have Capcan until they say, "All right, all right." That's when you can stop. That's not true. You should stop before that. But
Located by attackers.
you should make sure that you drill it in. There's always someone that's not totally paying attention, and they'll miss it, even if you say it like 3 times. Okay, it is open. You do have a guy there. That's good. You don't have anyone watching main flank, and there's a guy strip side. So and stock, and it's a Rooney in stock. So assuming there's no one watching your flank, this is very bad for Hibana and potentially the rest of the team, because sure, armory's clear, right? Except for box 3. You can take armory all you want. Even blue's barricaded off. But if Hibana dies upstairs, and it's very easy for her to die upstairs because no one's dead yet. No one's gonna watch flank. What's Devin doing? Oh, Devin's going strip? Is that Devin? It's Maverick. Okay. If he makes it quick, it'll be worth it. If he makes it there before Val gets off cams, it's worth it. But he could instead be repelled on these chains here. You can see it's the con balcony, construction balcony. You be repelled on there, open this barricade and watch the whole hall. That way Hibana doesn't get flanked. And then you guys don't also get flanked. Cause say Matt pushes in, Val gets off cams, and wins the fight against Matt. Now Val can go and flank kitchen. Hibana might know, so she might be able to watch bathroom and kill her. But then say that Aruni knows that there's a guy kitchen, and Val just killed a guy strip. There's no way there's a third guy over here if someone inside called out 3 guys dirt, right? So Aruni can fucking run out, punch this barricade, one punch it, and kill the Hibana that's trying to kill the Val. It's like chess. They're gonna end up taking more pieces than you will. Also, season. You had flashes. You could have flashed out box 3 by now. And Yana could have naded, because Yana still has 2 nades. Luckily, these guys are stupid, and they don't have any ADS or magnets, so Devin can just nade anyway. But you guys gotta be ready for his swing, because he's gonna swing off the nade. If he goes into blue, then you're good. You can take sight. As long as Hibana's watching the through the rotate. Oh, Hibana dropped. Hibana should not have dropped. Devin's planning. That's good. He's planning K9, but he's exposed to the hatch. That's not good. So this guy knows he's planning K9. Why did they put the Rooney on that side? Surya gate. That's so stupid. No one can reactivate that. Very dumb team you're playing against. I think you played that last bit well. Yeah, bring flashes. 100%. On Thermite and Nomad. You have a lot to learn for setups, and you have a lot to learn for, I think a lot of people have a lot to learn about how to take fights, me included. But there's people that, are around my skill level that still don't know how to properly take fights with what they have, in my opinion. And of course, everyone's playstyle is different, so what's proper for, in my opinion, isn't proper for someone else. But I'd be able to make it work, you know? And they probably would too, but they don't have my playstyle, so they might make a mistake along the way. Who's Shorty on your bed? You can see her? She's supposed to be under the blankets. I hide her.